the first time in U.S. history, a woman is set to be the White House chief of staff.
President-elect Donald Trump says he's giving his campaign manager the powerful job. As Amy Kiley reports, she has decades of political experience and appears well respected in the GOP.
This signals that the second coming of a Trump presidency is going to be very different.
President-elect Donald Trump says he's naming his 2024 campaign manager, Susie Wiles, as his White House chief of staff. The decision is historic.
She's the first female chief of staff, which when I heard that today, I was like, wow, like that has never happened before.
Wiles is a seasoned Republican strategist and lobbyist. She's also one of Trump's longest-serving advisors.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Trump credits Wiles with helping him win re-election. He says as chief of staff, she'll make the country proud.
Chief of staff is very effective if the feeling around Washington is that chief of staff has the confidence of the president. And the fact that they've developed this close relationship, very important.
A source says Wiles had conditions for accepting the second highest job in the West Wing. The person says she wants to control access to the president to prevent unofficial advisors from swaying him.
This is really setting the tone for the entire administration because it is clear that she is someone who is taken seriously in Republican circles, particularly not just the MAGA side of things, but also the establishment side.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
He helped to put Donald Trump in the White House in 2016 with his endorsement. Jerry Falwell Jr. was front and center at the Salem Trump rally Saturday. Just hours after he won the election, Falwell says he celebrated with Trump over the phone.
I just called him to congratulate him on the win, and he answered and he said, "Who is this?" I told him. He said, Jerry, great to talk to you. He said to tell the people of Lynchburg and the people of Liberty University that he loves you all.
Now, during his first term, President-elect Trump asked Falwell to serve as Secretary of Education for his administration. Falwell turned it down because he was the president of LU. In ABC 13's Danner Evans' exclusive one-on-one, she asked him if he would take on a position on Trump's administration this go-around, now that he's no longer with LU. His response coming up in the next half hour.
Virginia Senator Mark Warner is weighing in on Tuesday's presidential election. He says in our democracy, we have to respect the process. And while he's disappointed in the outcome, he says he plans to work together to get things done. He says lawmakers could find common ground in areas like national security, reducing inflation, and increasing domestic manufacturing.
And I hope he will focus on those kind of issues rather than trying to undermine the judicial process or use the tools of government to go against his perceived enemies.
Warner says when it comes to the Senate, challenges are better addressed together, and he's hopeful they can work across the aisle to make needed changes.